answer it.
If it's important, they'll leave a message.
The way people do that.
Okay. Now we need to clean this up. 12 and 10, can those be reduced?
Yes.
They can both be reduced by 2, which would give us 6 over 5. Can we combine some x's?
Yes. 2x cubed.
We've got 3 x's in the numerator and 5 y's in the denominator.
Oh, beast.
So your final answer would be 6x cubed divided by 5 y to the 5th power. Working with negative exponents. Remember, for a final answer, we don't like negative exponents. The only time we have a negative exponent, and it's okay, is in scientific notation. Because scientific notation, that negative exponent means something very specific. It's telling you where and how many times to move a decimal point to get to an actual number. Aaron, sit up. When we dealt with scientific notation, if we were looking to multiply these two things together, it looks a lot like FOIL, doesn't it? But what's the difference between this and FOIL?
You don't boil it.
You divide the same, you're like
You just multiply.
4.1 and 3.
Multiply the like terms.
This is all multiplication. There's no adding or subtracting going on here, all right? So all we're going to do is regroup and put things together that belong together. So we're going to take 3 times 4.1 and multiply that out, and we get 12.3. Then we're going to take our bases of 10 and multiply them by, what do you do with exponents when you're multiplying? You add the exponents. So 9 minus 8 is? No. 1.
No, you're not.
These are still multiplied together. But if you recall, when we dealt with scientific notation, we had to make sure that the decimal point was where it should be. And is it?
No.
Where should it be?
In front of the 2.
All right, we use this little technique. We put a caret where the decimal should be. We draw an arrow to where it actually is. And we adjust the already existing exponent. What kind of adjustment is that? To the right one. Plus 1. So this is 1.23.
So basically, if it goes left, it's positive. If it goes right, it's negative.
If your arrow's going right. Correct. Okay? You don't want to say, which direction do I move it to get it in the proper location? Because the exponent here tells us not how to put it in scientific notation. It tells us how to get it out of scientific notation. Okay? We also had division. 4.87 times 10 to the 4th power divided by 2.13 times 10 squared.
Divide those 2 from the left.
Same thing as the multiplication.
Subtract the exponent.
4.87 divided by 2.13 is a ridiculously long decimal. So I'm going to round
To the hundredths.
to the hundredths place.
Yeah. Times 2 to the
And when you're-
second.
Exactly. You're going to subtract the exponents. And 4 minus 2 is 2. Is this in proper scientific notation?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Okay? Is this all this stuff kind of coming back to you?
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, polynomials. You need to know how to add polynomials, which means like terms. What makes two terms alike when you're dealing with variables?
Same variable.
Same variables raised to the same powers. Okay? You need to know how to multiply polynomials through distribution and FOIL. And you need to recognize what is going to be done because the instructions are not going to say add these together, use FOIL, distribute. The instructions are simply going to say simplify. So you need to know what to do. Yes. What do you need to do here? You need to distribute. Okay? When we distribute, it means that we're taking this first term and we are multiplying it times everything inside the parentheses, which requires us to know our rules for multiplying variables. 2a times 4ab
8 squared b.
is 8a squared b. 2a times negative 3b,
Minus 6ab.
very good. 2a times 6ab
Plus 12a squared b.
Now, are you finished? Why not?
Find the greatest common factor.
No, we're not factoring.
A was small percent.
The first and last terms are alike. I can add them together. They both have a squared b.
Negative 6ab plus 20a squared.
Negative.
That's the same thing as this. You just wrote another
Yeah.
way. That's fine. So you have 20a squared b minus 6ab. All right, so that was a combination of distribution and adding like terms. What needs to be done here? FOIL. First outer, inner, last. First term times first term gives you?
9x.
9x squared.
You're multiplying first, outer, inner, and last. Outer two terms multiply together to give you?
Negative 18x.
Negative 18x, because it's 3x times negative 6. The inner terms are positive 5 times 3x, which is?
Positive 15x. Negative 30.
And the last terms are 5 times negative 6. And 9 times out of 10, those two are going to be the same. So we need to combine them. And this is what we get. Okay?
That's the answer.
That's your answer. Because we were trying to put them together. All right?
Miss Sally,
Yes, ma'am.
could you please remind Quentin Conway that he has Saturday detention?
Sure thing. Okay. You heard that? Okay. Factoring. Okay, we put them together through distribution and through FOIL. Now let's talk about factoring, taking it back apart. We had 5 ways of factoring. Greatest common factor, which is the reverse of distribution. Factoring trinomials, which is the reverse of FOIL. We had the difference of perfect squares. We had perfect cubes. And factoring by grouping. If you remember, when do you group? If you don't remember, it's written up there for you.
When you have 4 terms.
When you have 4 terms. Terms. I don't know what terms are.
4 terms.
All right. Merry Christmas. I forgot to put one of these on your test.
So there's no perfect cube.
There's no perfect cube.
Oh gosh, I hate places.
Yes, that's the only one I don't want to do.
So,
All right. Shh. If you look at this, there are 4 terms. We're going to group. All right. Well, usually we can just look at it and group the first and whatever. Is there anything in common with the first 2 terms?
No.
Is there anything in common with the second 2?
First
I mean,
and
the last
third.
2.
First and the third.
No. Well, yeah, there is, but it doesn't help us out here. All right. So what we're going to do,
We're going to switch them up. 35 and 7.
hold on. I think I wrote something wrong.
Yeah, you remember.
I did write something wrong.
7.
This is, okay.
I like that.
It's supposed to be AD. Okay.
Like the better.
All right, let's group these 2 together and these 2 together. Because just looking at your coefficients, those are the ones that fit. All right? 35 AC minus 7 AD. All right, now look. See, I put another B.